Hi, this is day 21 of the World of Wool Advent Calendar Spin Along. I'm Jess, and this is Piano Spun Yarns, a place for fiber artists and people who just want to know a little bit more about the fiber in their lives. Today, we're going to be opening a blend from Venezuela. Today's tradition is called rollerblades, and our blend is superfine merino and Surrey alpaca. Now, superfine merino or merino in general can be found all around the world. It is one of the most prolific sheep breeds, but Surrey alpacas are native to South America. They have moved elsewhere, but they're native to South America, namely Peru, which is only separated from Venezuela by Colombia. And I wonder if we're going to see some natural colors in this blend, especially from the alpaca. The superfine merino, I feel like it could be any color, and I feel like this tradition could also be any color. I also wonder if we're gonna see maybe some 80s colors, because when I think of rollerblades, I think of those. This is a tangent, but my grandmother had in her basement those Barbie rollerblades that got banned. They weren't out for very long. When you rolled them, they had a little, like, it's the same thing as a wheel and a lighter. They had one of those in there, a little scratch and light wheel. So when you would roll them, sparks would fly out. And so when I think rollerblades, I think of that, and it had that like bright neon with the pink lightning bolt through it. So I don't think that's the colors we're gonna see, but those are the colors that come to my mind. I love this so much. Every day, every day for this whole calendar, I have thought, this is my favorite and I can't like any blend more than this. And then the next day comes and I love it even more. This does give bright 80s rollerblade vibes. Not yellow and pink, but look at those purples and light blues. It's like falling apart in my hands. I don't know if you've ever spun superfine merino, but it is, I think, 18 micron. It feels as soft as cashmere. It feels so, so soft. And the Surrey alpaca here, I think, is just the white that we're seeing. And we've already discussed how soft alpaca is. So this blend might even be a little bit of a challenge to spin because of how soft it is. And because of those stripes, I think I'm gonna try spinning it from the fold to see if I can't keep some of that striping together. Let's open up our motif and see what this blend is gonna be used in. We have another kind of starburst spark kind of motif, which is cute. Like I said, when I think of rollerblades, I think of sparks. So that really works out for me. I am curious how this is gonna pair with the green from yesterday. I still have it in front of me. So let me just hold those two things up together. There is contrast there. I'm just curious as to how it's gonna look, because these, I've said it so many times during this calendar, these are not colors that I would choose to be together just because of the, I don't know, they give off different vibes, I guess, for me. But we're gonna see, because they are gonna be together in that pattern, so we'll see when we get there. I'm gonna set up the wheel and get to spinning this, and I will tell you a little bit about why rollerblades are ubiquitous with Christmas in Venezuela. It's so incredibly soft. I find that spinning superfine merino, I feel like I have to be as careful as I would be spinning silk. And just from my knowledge of spinning superfine merino in the past, I also know that every time I have spun superfine merino, for myself, it has come out a little underspun, a little underplied, and just a little underspun, right? I'm gonna try to thicken that up a little bit. It's really interesting that even though I have spun every yarn so far as a chain ply, this is gonna be the first yarn that really has a striping effect. I haven't had a blend so far that really created a striping effect, but this one will, even if it's subtle. There we go. That's way closer to what I'm looking for. It is so soft. All right, let's finally talk about these rollerblades. In Venezuela, where the majority of the population celebrates Christmas, it is also common for the majority of the population to go to a Christmas Mass. Unlike the Christmas Mass that I'm familiar with, which happen on Christmas Eve, the Christmas Mass in Venezuela happens on Christmas Day, and due to the climate, it is extremely warm there. It is a popular tradition, thereby being warm and being in the middle of the day, to roller skate to Christmas Mass as a community event in Venezuela. This really came about in the 1950s. Gifts are commonly given out on Christmas Eve in Venezuela, so by Christmas Day, you already have gifts to play with. And in the 1950s, a common gift to give out were roller skates. So children were already out roller skating on Christmas Day, playing with their gifts. And the community wanted to find a way to make those gifts more usable. They wanted to find time to use them, so they figured they would have outdoor events held on Christmas Day where children would get to go out and use the gifts that they received. Communities use these outdoor activities as a way to keep the community engaged and together. Although the tradition kind of died down in the 2000s, it's making a nostalgic comeback in many large cities where people have fond memories of being children and roller skating to Mass. So even though it did see a dip in popularity, there is a large amount of people who are looking to bring back this tradition in a big way, which I think is really sweet. It's such a unique tradition, one that not a lot of people can take part of because it really depends on your weather. So I hope it does make a big comeback in Venezuela. This spin is one that definitely takes a lot more of my attention. It is not easy and meditative like yesterday's was. So I'm gonna take the time to really focus on that, and I will show you in just a bit what this yarn looks like in the end. Here is day 21's yarn, and I want to impart just how purple this is. I don't know why I see more of the blues on camera, but I feel like it's so purple. This yarn is the super soft merino, so you can imagine how soft it is. It is a little tricky to spin. I found that with super soft merino in the past. It's kind of slippery, and I don't know if grabby is the right word, but you can easily get a slub, and then there's kind of, well, there are things you can do about it, but I am on a deadline. So this is not the most even yarn that we've seen, but I did get the single in ply twist where I wanted it to. I've had trouble with super soft merino in the past not having enough twist. Like I felt like it was, and then when I finished it, it just looked way underplied. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with how soft it is. And this is the first color where I looked at this yarn with the other ones and thought, that doesn't really remind me of Christmas, but it does remind me of rollerblades and the 80s. So there that is. This will be the last color to make it onto the sleeves before I knit up the cuff, and then whatever comes next will go onto the bottom of the coat. It's my clock. Thank you so much for being here for day 21. We only have 3 days left. I think you're gonna see a little bit get added to the bottom of the coat still, so it's gonna get even longer than it is right now. Um, I don't have anything to say here, but thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.